In the 1700s, Japan did something cruel. They took their criminals, their political enemies, their troublemakers, and exiled them to a volcanic island in the middle of the sea. No medicine, no doctors, no hope. They were sent there to die. They didn't die. They lived to 100, some past 100. And when researchers finally asked them why, they pointed to a single plant growing on the cliffs. A plant that bleeds yellow when you cut it. A plant that grows back overnight. A plant that the West has never heard of. Until now. The archive opens on a volcanic island in the Philippine Sea. A place where exiles were sent to die. But instead, they discovered the secret to living forever. The plant is called Ashitaba. In Japanese, it means tomorrow's leaf. Not because it promises you a better tomorrow, but because if you cut it today, it grows back by morning. It bleeds a golden yellow sap when wounded. That sap contains something scientists have been searching for decades. A compound called DMC. DMC triggers something called autophagy. That's your body's built-in recycling system. It finds damaged cells, broken proteins, the debris of aging, and clears them out. Think of it as a deep clean for your cells. Most compounds that trigger autophagy are synthetic, expensive, patented. DMC is natural. It grows on cliffs, and it's been hiding in plain sight for 300 years. Here's the strange part. You've never seen Ashitaba in a grocery store. It's not in your supplement aisle. It's not mentioned by your doctor. This is not an accident. The same system that erased dozens of traditional plants, the same system that told your grandmother her remedies were old wives' tales, that system has been very, very quiet about Ashitaba. The elders of Hachijō speak of the exiles with reverence, not as criminals, but as the ones who discovered the secret. In the 1700s, the Tokugawa Shogunate controlled Japan with an iron fist. Political enemies, troublemakers, anyone who challenged power. They were sent to Hachijō Island, a volcanic rock, 287 kilometers from Tokyo. No supplies, no medicine, no return. The shogunate expected them to starve. But the island had other plans. The exiles noticed something, a plant growing wild on the volcanic cliffs. The locals called it Ashitaba. They said if you ate it, you wouldn't get sick. If you were wounded, you healed faster. If you were old, you stayed old. But you didn't die. They just kept not dying. That's how one researcher described it decades later. One 89-year-old resident told researchers, "We didn't call it medicine, we just called it tomorrow." Because every morning, the plant was back. And so were they. Word spread. By the Edo period, Ashitaba wasn't just survival food. It was power. The old records say that samurai who ate Ashitaba before battle recovered from wounds that would kill ordinary men. Legends, perhaps. But the shogun's own physicians prescribed it. It became a symbol of resilience, of endurance, of refusing to break. For 200 years, Ashitaba was Japan's open secret. Then came the fall. World War II, occupation, restructuring. Traditional Japanese medicine was pushed aside. Western pharmaceuticals moved in. And Ashitaba? It didn't fit the new model. You can't patent a plant that grows wild on cliffs. You can't control something that regenerates overnight. So they did what powerful systems always do. They forgot it. On purpose. But here's where it gets strange. Because the plant refused to be forgotten. In 2016, researchers at Graz University in Austria made a discovery. They were studying compounds that could slow aging. They tested 180 different flavonoids. Only one triggered autophagy in human cells without toxicity. DMC from Ashitaba. The study was published in Nature Communications, one of the most respected journals in the world. The headline should have been everywhere. Ancient Japanese plant contains new anti-aging compound. It wasn't, and they weren't the only ones who noticed. Japanese researchers had been studying Ashitaba for years. Korean scientists confirmed the autophagy effect in 2019. Study after study showed the same thing. Reduced oxidative stress, improved cellular cleanup, extended lifespan in lab models. Stay with me here because this changes everything. The compound isn't rare. It isn't synthetic. It isn't locked behind a patent. It grows. On cliffs. In your backyard if you plant it. And that's the problem. And let me explain how the system works. In America, the FDA doesn't approve plants. It approves drugs. To get a drug approved, you need clinical trials. Years of them. Millions of dollars. Who pays for that? Companies. Companies that want to patent what they discover. But you can't patent a plant that's been used for 300 years. There's no return on investment. So the studies don't get funded. The trials don't happen. The plant stays invisible. This isn't conspiracy. It's economics. The plant is not illegal. The plant is unprofitable. In America, that is the same thing. So here's what you can do. Ashitaba grows in USD, A zones 7 through 10. If you're in a colder zone, grow it in containers and bring it inside for winter. It likes partial shade, moist, well-drained soil, and patience. Seeds can take 2 to 4 weeks to germinate, sometimes longer. But once established, it practically takes care of itself. Gardeners in zones 9 through 11 report that Ashitaba spreads like it wants to be eaten. Harvest the outer leaves. The plant will keep producing. You can eat them raw, steamed, or dried into tea. Start with a few leaves per week. See how your body responds. A word of caution. If you're pregnant, nursing, or taking blood thinners, talk to your doctor first. Ashitaba can interact with certain medications. And like any powerful plant, more is not always better. Start slow. Listen to your body. We're not selling miracles here. We're sharing knowledge. Ashitaba, tomorrow's leaf. The name is not about the plant. It's about you. Every day you wake up is a tomorrow you weren't guaranteed. The exiles understood this. They were sent to an island to die. They chose to live. And they passed that choice down, plant by plant, leaf by leaf, generation by generation, until it reached you. The knowledge exists. Now you have it. The archive closes, but continues in your garden.